I think we're ready. I think we're ready. Let's go and get the pod. Let's get this broadcast popping off. I think we might be close to ready. It says that we are live. Let's see what we're streaming on. We are live on Periscope. We are live on Gye-Nyame Journey Media on Facebook. We are live on Facebook on Gye-Nyame Journey. On Brother Hot Tim. We are live on Mixer. I gotta go in and change that name. We are live on YouTube stream now. So we're live on YouTube. So that means I can go and pull up my stuff on G&J Media. I'm not seeing it on Facebook yet. Did I send out the black signal? Let's send out the black signal. Yep. We're moving closer back to the time. The time for, uh-oh. Alright. Cool. So we sent it out. Man, I got my little phone, man. I don't even understand how they gave me a number that is just so contaminated. I mean, I'm getting text every day. Somebody named Artez. Artez needs to get his life together. G&J Media .live. Y'all should go there and check it out. Check out a t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? We got t-shirts. I ain't launching we're not gonna launch that Gye-Nyame Journey t-shirt yet. No, not yet. No. Take our time with that one. Give me a couple more weeks. I need to go and do some work. Get some work done. I got a few more things to get out. And I got an idea for a special premiere for that one, for that t-shirt in particular. So I'm gonna bide my time. I'm giving y'all time to come and gather in, grab your glasses, get your water, get your health drink. Those that are new to the channel, we gather here to toast our ancestors on a daily basis, our personal ancestors. And in order to toast the ancestors, we got to take care of ourselves. So we got to take our breaths. We got to drink our water, right? We got to have our health drink. So we go on some conversation, possibly about some stuff that goes on in the news, things that affect ADOS life. But of course, in the sense, this is lineage therapy. You know what I'm saying? Give us an opportunity to have a conversation about the importance of our ancestors, the importance of our connection to the past, ancient past, as well as the more recent past. Like, since we are in August and it's the 400th year, the last 400 years that we have been here to really focus on black life, progress and no progress that we have appeared to make while we've been here. Have those type of discussions, even though they can be uncomfortable and unsettling for some, which is kind of surprising. So I'm doing some mechanical stuff, some behind the scenes stuff, and just come on in, get settled, while going and make sure this stream is kicking on all of my pages, well, almost all of them. But there's something else that I could do with this too. I need to start pose. I'm gonna say that for Kwame. That's Kwame's mastery. That's not necessarily my mastery. Daily Toast. Tag. What can I tag this as? G&J Media. Blog. Self-help. Oh, Lord have mercy. What else? Motivation. Sometime. Because I might not have a motivating story for y'all this morning. But I'm giving y'all time together and podcast. Tags help make the video more discoverable. They aren't displayed to the public. Oh, they aren't displayed. Okay. Alright. So what good is it if it's, I guess it helps with the I don't know. Alright, so make sure y'all checking this out on G&J Media. Chats are open. Start making comments. And of course, family, I want to welcome you to the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Simba, now she was finally on time. This is a Heart of a Simba production. And of course, this is the Daily Toast. Oh, now you don't. Now you got something in your throat. Man, with me. And of course, you know, we strive to blow up your old paradigms. Drink your water. Man, I'm out of tune. Come on, drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath, man. Drink. But make sure you breathe, then drink. Now, grab that glass for some water. Get your picture of that water. Lift that picture of that water. Simply pour some water. Drink. Or should we say, raise, toast, then pour. Man. Now move your body and drink some water. I know it's early. Come on, move your body. Move your body and drink some water. Come on. Move your body and drink some water. Ouch. Simply move your body. Drink. Or should we say, move, and drink. Now, raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors, fam. Just raise your glass. Drink. Or should I say, raise, toast, then drink. Now let's start over. Look, take your breath and drink some water. Come on. Raise your thing and pour some water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, live, move, toast. But to stay healthy, remember the 4 pillars of health in Gye-Nyame. Breathe, drink, eat, move. Eco responsibly, appropriately. Drink the proper amount of water. Take your breath. Come on. Take your breath. Lift and pull. Move your body. Toast your ancestors. Drink up. Drink your water. Alright, family. Great Kujichagulia to each and every last one of you. So before I forget, family, I want to give all of the Kujichagulia babies a round of applause. Is my spiritual audience here today? Y'all taking a break? What? Y'all hating on Kujichagulia this morning? Huh? See, that's what I go through, man. Which kind of segue into my stuff. What, y'all quiet now? Shouts out to all the Kujichagulia babies. Shouts out to all the Kujichagulia babies. So, y'all know I've been telling you I've been having some issues with sleeping, and you know, Brother Hatim don't never have no issues with sleeping. Shit, I remember I used to, you know, back in the day, go to a party, I'd sleep up under the speaker. The speaker be right next to me. I ain't got no problem sleeping. So it took me a little while to get to sleep. So I got up and took me one of my extended baths. Anyway, in the tub, I started thinking about some of the stuff that have been kind of bothering me. And, you know, and a lot of them are around some of the same stuff. So what I'm working on, because what I'm starting to realize more and more is that these days really, really have an effect on who and what you are by, you know, just even before applying the principle to the day, right? There was the whole concept of day names. But by applying the principle to the day, it kind of helps clarify some of the power behind the name. And I started recognizing things because, you know, at first I was Kwabena, right? You know, boom. I was born on Kwabena. But then after we came up with the system of renaming the days after the Nguzo Saba and made the connection between the day and the principle, my life has been lining up with the principle. And I don't know whether that's because we've been putting energy into it or that's the way it has always been. You know what I'm saying? Either way is cool with me. But one of the issues that I have always dealt with in my life as I started reviewing, and remember, this is hindsight. You know what I'm saying? Hindsight is 20/20. You get to see shit from a whole different perspective. Because what a lot of people don't know is that a lot of the memories that we do have are only from our perception. So oftentimes they are biased and they lean towards us. This is why a lot of times I don't try to invest a lot in just memory. You understand what I'm saying? In memory. I have a good memory when it comes to other stuff, but for a lot of personal shit, I've learned to kind of push that down. Why? Because oftentimes it's my perspective, and what might have been minor for somebody else could have been major for me. You understand what I'm saying? So I will have a memory and I will blow it, or I will blow it out of context. Well, anyway, as a Kujichagulia baby, one of the things I have always strove for is to redefine or define myself. And one of the major issues that I've been running into in my whole life is trying to take control and define who and what and where I am. Now, I know for a fact that this has cost me jobs, this has cost me relationships, and it's still, up until this day, it's problematic. Well, I ain't gonna say it's problematic for other people. It's beautiful for me. Like, for example, I could take the day names and I could, you know what I'm saying? I redefine shit. I don't have a problem with self-definition. That issue is not a problem. What's the problem is that a lot of forces and people around me, rather than using me for my skill, like, for example, I'm very good at what I do. I'm very good at what I do. And, you know, however you define what the fuck I do, I'm very good at doing the things that I do. The issue is that other people see what I do, fall in love with what I do, fall in love with how I do it, then want to change what I'm doing. They want to bring me in and we want to make slight changes, which is problematic for me. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, you know, the thing that you initially attracted you, the thing that you initially wanted, now you want to try to, you know what I'm saying? You want to try to change it. You know, I've been the same since almost I was born. I've been doing the same type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, I would go and I would be part of something and they want to morph and change what I do. They want to morph and change me. It ain't even what I do, it's me. Right? Brother Kwame say, pouring a special libation to Harry Thomas Reese as one of the many persons through which my baby sister and I have come on to this plane, and I give thanks. You want me to add him onto the list? Is that what I'm understanding? I will wait for a response because I don't know if you just want to do it for the day or do you want it to be part of the daily pour. For those that don't know, for those we have a list. So part of my struggle has been it didn't even change. It's like if I have something that's working and you want to partner with me, you want to be with me, why change what initially? I understand because I understand some pimp shit. Now I do understand pimp shit, right? Because part of the whole paradigm of pimping and hoeing is that I have to make you feel that your shit is valueless without the spice that I put on your shit, right? I do understand that. See, and see, maybe that's one of the downfalls of being the son of Cecil and shit. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, I recognize pimp shit. Come on now, you know, Brother Kwame, just for the day. All right, cool. So I'll come back to it. So we gonna pour a special libation for Harry Thomas Reese this morning. Harry Thomas Reese. And so I had to rethink some of this stuff, or at least put a spin on it. Y'all know I'm a storyteller as well. But oftentimes I would get on here and be like, far as inheritance, my dad never left me anything. But the truth of the matter is, after I started thinking about it, I turned down my dad's inheritance. Let me be very clear. One, see, because I have never been 51 before. I've never been 50 before. Well, I mean, I've been 50, but now I'm 51. And as I go through shit, I have often had the luxury, and I still had a luxury, of just starting over. Understand that when I take my skills somewhere and they're not appreciated, right? Or after a while they're not appreciated, because usually they come in the door, they're very welcomed and shit. And I feel that what I'm offering is not appreciated, is not respected. I quit, I move on, I'll break shit up and start all over again. In my 20s, that shit was cool. In my 30s, that shit was troublesome, but still cool. In my 40s, it's more of a struggle. But in my 50s, I'm looking on the downside of my life. And I know a lot of people are, why are you so negative, brother? I like to deal with reality. It's a definite possibility that I have more years behind me than I have in front of me. And in my 50s, me breaking down and tearing shit up is sort of like a last option. I will do that shit. I will get up. I will walk the fuck out. I will stop fucking with you. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say I don't care, but the whole piece is, it's harder at 51 to start over than at 30. Do you understand? I'm looking over an edge. Last night I was looking over an edge. And over that edge, thought hit me like, damn, Cleve is 14 years old. And that shit went quick. In 14 years, I will be 65 years old. It used to be in 14 years, I'll be 24. In 14 years, I'll be 38. In 14 years, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm looking over it and there is no safety net on that drop. I used to have age as a safety net on that drop. I used to have youth as a safety net on that drop. Now it's just the drop. I know I'm going to be able to, after I land, after I recover from the initial crash, I'm always going to make something happen. That's in my DNA. That's one of the inheritance that I possibly got from my father. But my father offered me an inheritance. Because like I said, I'm not really familiar with his whole story. Because like I said, I'll be talking and it's like I'll be getting contrary, things in some of the conversations. And that let me know that a lot of people didn't know my pops. But anyway, the inheritance, because my pops used to say stuff to me like, you still trying to be rich? You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, ever since I can remember meeting him, one of the goals that I had was to make a lot of money. And he had to be rich. And he'd be like, you still try to be rich, right, bro? 20s, he laughed with me and we laughed about it when I would visit or when we would run into each other. You know what I'm saying? Because we wasn't all that tight. And in my 30s, we laughed about it. Late 30s, well, early 30s, he moved in with me for a little while. And my father used to save everything. He would find old shit, he would save it, he would find different ways to hustle, he would hustle everybody in the house for something. And he had a pair of socks for every day, he had suits. I'm like, dude, how you got all this shit and you homeless? Where you supposed to put all this? It's like, you supposed to be staying with me for a week. That week turned into about 2 years. And one of the things that I noticed was this man was incredible with my youngest son. Given the time and the space, he could have been an outstanding father, but as a grandfather, at least for Cleve, because by the time he came into Wisdom life, Wisdom was a teenager, and he like, I don't need no grandfather right now. You know what I'm saying? Shit. You know what I'm saying? He had other grandfathers. Let's just put it that way. One of the reasons I do what I do is because I honestly believe in the concept of tribe. So I wanted to expose my son to shit that I didn't have. So my son had different people he'd go to and look at as stepfather or a spiritual father or spiritual grandfather. This is what I try to build. You know what I'm saying? He had brothers. Even though he was my only genetic son, I got sons and daughters. He had brothers and sisters for as long as he could remember. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother story. But getting back to my pops, and I noticed that he stored everything. And one day me and him was talking, and this was his inheritance, and this is what's crazy, because he didn't have no money. All the stuff that he was gathering was useless. But he offered me a gift one day. Because unlike a lot of other people, my pops didn't think I was crazy. But he thought what I was reaching for might have been a little bit crazy. Let me put it that way. And he said, I can help you get Social Security. I said, what? That was the inheritance that he wanted to pass on to me. I had nothing else. He was going to teach me how. He said, look, I could walk you through the whole process. I done mastered the shit. And if you let me, I will walk you through it. This is the only thing that this man had to pass on to me. His form of reparations. Because everything he did didn't work out for him in that way. You know what I'm saying? Because of the possible roadblocks. Because he was very intelligent. Very intelligent. You know what I'm saying? And of course, people like, if he would have just settled down and got a job, but people don't understand that everybody ain't designed for this job shit. I could do it because I got up and I watched my grandfather get up and do it. Given a different situation, I would have looked at that shit sort of like my father. That's what suckers do. But I'm like, nah, I understood. Nah, I don't want your help. That's some bullshit. You lazy boy. I'm thinking about this, but I had to step back and realize the genius of this man. Not the fact that, he was getting Social Security, but the fact that he was trying to pass something on to me. And the only thing he had to pass on to me was that. So when people come at me talking about this, we don't need the reparations or you begging and shit. I honestly believe and I honestly know and I feel it in my bones that there's a debt that is owed. Debt that is owed. Opportunities that were lost and genius that was lost because they couldn't find their place and they didn't have the opportunity to fail, to learn their craft. The only thing they could do was hit these goddamn streets. And getting back to my original point before I go on. So, I'm in a position where my pops was. At a point where, I ain't gonna, in many ways, I'm a lot less freer than he was. I have a lot more responsibility than he was. But I know at some point in time, he had to look over the edge that I'm looking over right now. Now, not to get y'all thinking I'm dismayed, because I don't mind breaking some shit up and starting over. I have no problem with that shit. I still would do that shit as quickly as the 20-year-old Hatim would get up and tell you to kiss my ass and keep it moving. You understand what I'm saying? But now it's a little bit harder because I got people that gotta walk with me. I don't think Gina appreciate that shit. Right? You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, family. So we're going to do this toast. But before we get into the toast, now I'm going to try to do the show tonight. We have folktale for grown folks, and we're going to make up for what we missed last week. Now, I got a lot of juice there. I got a lot of ambrosia that I have to get ready. A lot of ambrosia that I have to get ready. But we're gonna work on getting the show ready, because actually, those of you that are waiting for your ambrosia, what is you doing?
Oh, I'm looking for the lotion.
Nigga, why are you snapping?
Oh,
sorry. I'm just wondering. I thought, is the lotion got a snapper on it? Is it gonna whistle when you find it? No. Okay, hey, maybe that's a high school thing. Maybe I did. I don't know. All right, but the story for the day, I started all the way in the back because I'm used to us being all the way through that book. The story for the day, we already did it. The ass and the grasshopper. An ass, having heard some grasshoppers chirping, was highly enchanted, and desiring to possess the same charms of melody, demanded what sort of food they lived on to give them such beautiful voices. They replied, the dew. The ass resolved that he would live only upon dew, and in a short time died of hunger. That's the story for the night. I think we're going to be able to get some good conversation about that one, because we got a lot of asses in our lives trying to eat dew. Can I get some thunder, please? God damn. Like, I heard these spiritual animals just don't want to do right. Last piece. Now, yesterday, I stumbled on this video about Hannibal. And there has been a question. For those that don't know who Hannibal is, because I know some of y'all out there acting like you know who Hannibal is. But those that don't know who Hannibal is, Hannibal was a general from a place called Carthage in North Africa. You know, sort of like northeast. That kind of took over the whole top of Africa and had several wars, two with Rome. And the whole issue was control of the Mediterranean and the surrounding lands. So Carthage was being on the top of Africa, control all the way over to they was able to get to Spain, and they also conquered Spain, and I think at the time they called it Iberia or something like that, and they formed New Iberia, and from there Hannibal launched his march into Rome. All right. At this time, I don't even think they had a France. They was called Gauls, and he went through the Alps down into Rome, down into Italy, raised hell. Destroy. It's like in one battle, and like let's say a 48-hour period, it is said he destroyed 50,000. And I want you to imagine, we ain't talking about no bullets. 50,000 Roman troops. 50,000 in one battle, right? And the only thing left for him to do was to go into Rome. Now, one of the most debated topics is why Hannibal did not go into Rome. And I'm going to leave that for this story right here. We need to discuss that tonight. Why? Go and do some research. Why didn't Hannibal go into Rome? There was no armies in between him and Rome. He marched around Rome. He fucked with Rome. But he did not destroy Rome. And the question we have to ask, which kind of will tie into this if somebody remind me tonight, is why? Let's look at some of the ideas, some of the theories, and some of y'all might have your own on why he couldn't do it. And one of the ones I want to dispel before anybody say, because Rome might have had 300 to 500,000 people. At that time, he had 50,000 soldiers, which was enough to besiege the wall and destroy Rome. I'm just saying to y'all, because it don't take a lot. It don't take a lot of, you know what I'm saying? It don't take a lot of soldiers to conquer cities. So one of the myths is that he didn't have enough, and he had secured the supply lines. Listen. So the question was, and the question is, why didn't Hannibal roll into Rome? And it's gonna fit right in with this proverb. All right. So but y'all gotta remind me. So now let's get to our toast. Family, we want to raise our glass to our Creator by whatever name you choose to call it. Creator, we raise our glass to that Creator, and we say, from there, family, we want to start with our personal ancestors, and once again, for today only, we want to raise up Harry Thomas Reese. Raise up Harris Thomas Reese, and now we get into the rest of our ancestors: Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robert and Texana Davis, Herman Brown Sr., Rosalie Tilley, Georgia William Walter, Kristen Fanny Gaston, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend, Cleveland and Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis. Greetings back to you, Miss Navita. Wow, it ain't pop up on my screen. And Navita, they got you a 5-year anniversary follower. Wow. That's dope. Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown. It ain't been no damn 5 years. Has it been 5 years? Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallar, Montague Pittman, Normal X, Sapet Mott, Rob Malika Fakour, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Farmer, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., Jay Edwards, Carla Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy, Wright, Derek L. Pulliet, the Luxter Brothers, Miss Edith Brooke Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Mr. Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan. Let me see if that's up on the chat, because I didn't see it come across the screen, and I've been looking at the screen. Wow, so it didn't pop up on the restream chat either. The Luxter Brother, Miss Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Rinderman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Well, Levita Farmer, Agoso Sue, Shell Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theodis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, May Esther Keechler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selby Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mary Moss, Ophelia Peacock, Willie Thornton. So the chats is not acting right this morning. Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quells, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quells, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.C. Johnson, Delrita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hadley Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Amitep Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey Ellen Ohio, Frank Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Vina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Didi Monares, Gina Ruth Jones, Janet Callahan. Also, I want to say this about the Hannibal piece. A lot of people don't know that also in the ocean, Carthage had over 70 ships in that area when after Hannibal was able to march into Rome. 70 ships that could have cut off any support from the ocean. I'm just saying. Why didn't Hannibal crush Rome? Major question. And I'm telling you right now, it fits right into this folktale. Alright. William Walter West, Nigel Paris, Elder Basiji Filani, Jim Robson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Delise Waters, DePretis Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scantleberry, Wilson Haley, Elma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Calvin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Edith Catney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pena Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Nayland Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr. I was waiting for Kwame. What? He couldn't survive off the Roman foods. Conquered the Iberian Peninsula, also known as Iberia. Right. They had it. But that was, that's Spain, right? No, yeah, that was Spain. The Iberian Peninsula was Spain. So basically, they won't say it, but that was Spain, right? And the Gauls were the French. So there was really no. And what a lot of people don't understand is like, well, he only used to have. No, he had Iberians, he had Liberians. He had Gauls that was marching with him, because you got to remember, in order for Rome to exist, Rome had to, it's like capitalism, they had to have a bottom caste, and they were taking and taxing the Gauls and being very disrespectful to them. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of those Gauls would have came. So that little 50,000 that he had after he won, after he only lost, I want y'all to think about this. This man, in less than 48 hours, possibly killed 50,000 Romans. In the battle, he lost probably about 1,800 to 3,600 people. How do you do that shit? Woo, let me stop. Y'all, because we really have to have this conversation, because the reason he didn't conquer Rome fits right in with this folktale, but the reason he didn't conquer Rome also fits into some of the shit that we do right now today and don't even realize it with these fucking titles that these people giving us. Come on now. And Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr. is one of the many reasons why Portugal and Spain is thought as North Africa. You better leave those Portuguese alone, man. Peter Jones, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensenbaugh, Hazel Gaston, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaneko Parsons, Jason Cathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word I, Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Urban, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Dorr, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Gleavers, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boyd Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead. They are on here twice. That's good. That's cool, though. Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Harriet Tubman, Kate Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Nino Baby Hatch, Hatch Sr., Mally Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Dorita Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Needy Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Cofer, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mae Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Hairston, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heap Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Albert Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Earlington Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls here in West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Vaughn, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Ramey Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Baba Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Benny Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Captain Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Irvin, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Irvin Sr., Michael Irvin, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rashawn Easley, Javea McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Chuckum Aha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Oliver, Mazarine Coker, George Swan, and Monia Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan Sybil, Edwards McNair, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, and Shelby McClendon. And family, I gotta ask you another question. Why, when Rome had a chance, they totally obliterated Carthage? Y'all know that? Is it Carthage on the map now? Totally obliterated that population, that area. Alright. Just something to think about. So we got Joella Giles, James Carswell, Roberta Adams, also known as Aunt Sis, Elder Shaka McNair, Anthony Brown, Jonathan Ford, Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shane Lewis, Ronald Shelton Jr., Damian Top, Westina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy Mama, Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac Cundiff, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joy, Ryan Ross Riggins, Jamonte Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McHale, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jefferson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quincy Sample, Candace Simmons, Severin Clayton. Leonard Jones, Sade Garner, Melvin Scott Sr., Elder Clarence Lumpkin, Elizabeth Johnson, Frank Smith, Stacey Trice, Denisa Gore, Nathaniel Hassan Turner, Khalid is in transition, Nigel Turner, Demetrius Lewis Flint, Alberta Woods, Geneva Simmons, Daniel Tilley, Angeline Gant, Sharifa, Oscar Kane, Audrey Gripper, Dominique Nichols, Ruth Elaine Johnson, Teresa Sambo, or Sambu, Aunt Maxine, Quasi, Uncle James, Henry Monger III, Tamara Dowdy, Nicole Harris, Julia Taylor, Richard Bozeman II, Ruth Carter, John Carter, Mr. Thornton, Johanna, Desandra Lynette Lewis, Henderson Mosley, Charles Jordan, Henry Essex II, Fannie L. Webb, Dan Walton, Aulati Sue Walton, Emma Walton, James Randolph Giles, Sonny, Pete Walton, William Walton, Fred Powers, Elijah Juan Hakeem Nkomo, Alberta T. Davis, Charles Davis, Willie R. Mackey, Dr. Karimi Mackey, Victor Bowden, Drusilla Kitty Berger, Lucy White, Robert Lee White, Emma Jean White Talton, Roger White, R.L. White, Jesse White, Ruby Jewel White, Johnson Carl White, Desi Woods, Talar Woods Lennox, Jim Woods, Lizzie Woods, Juanita Alexander Brown. We raise our glass to our ancestors and we toast and we say Ashe. Kwame say Rome's strategy was to control the trade routes by any means necessary and to ensure Carthage would not present future problems for them in that regard. Okay. Save it for the night, man. Save it for the night. We raise our glass to our ancestors. We say Ashe. From there, family, we move to the present moment because I got to go and get my clothes ironed. Didn't iron last night. And, of course, we are, once again, raising those hands up for those Kujichagulia born. For those of them, activate those particular formations out there. We want to start. We want to seek out Kujichagulia today. We want to find it in all its varied and beautiful forms. We want to catch and release, family. You don't want to hold it because we need Kujichagulia in our community. We need all our principles in our community. So we only catch and release. We don't kill them. We don't hold them in our rooms and stuff like that. We let it flow within the community. We let them run wild, right? So I want you to take pictures of it. I want you to take videos of it. I want you to write about your sightings and share it on the page Gye-Nyame Journey, right? Share it on Gye-Nyame Journey page. Hashtag Kujichagulia, hashtag Kujichagulia File, hashtag Kujichagulia Day. However you want to do it. As long as it got Kujichagulia in it. Hashtag Kujichagulia. All right? So now, for those who don't speak the language, Kujichagulia means self-determination. All right? So, on this day, the modic principle of this day is justice. The color is indigo. I got on black. I'm eventually going to have an indigo one because I don't like because I thought indigo should be stronger than what they telling me is indigo. All right. Correspondence is what you break.
I ain't breaking
Okay. Correspondence is the Hermetic law today. That means as above, so below. For those that don't know those Hermetic laws. Male name for the day is Kwabena. Female name is Abana. So shots out and we raise up our glass for this present moment because in this moment we have all the power. Right? We have the wisdom and the power and the guidance of our ancestors to move strongly and boldly into a future. Right? And into moving, well, not even into mastering the moment. Let's say that. And in mastering the moment, we make way for a beautiful future for our future generations, our children and our children yet to come. So we toast this moment, and we're gonna squeeze every ounce of life out of it, right? And we say, Ashe, from there, family, we're gonna move to our future generations. We're gonna toast our children's children on to infinity. And we say, Ashe. From there, family, we're going to move we're going to move from there to all of our relations. And we say, Ashe, from all our relations, we're going to have that toast, that selfish toast. This is what did you need in this moment to move towards your greater you. Now, I need to start limiting it, you know what I'm saying, within that 5, you know what I'm saying, intuition, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, right? Right now, within your own space. What is it that you need right now in this moment, in one of those areas that can help you move towards your highest self, right? We say, Ashe. Well, I ain't gonna say highest, to your balanced self, because a lot of these concepts I gotta battle now. Because it's like I'm getting too old, and I can't allow people to be, because we being derailed by this high and low and shit. Like we really being played on this shit, and people are misusing this shit. I'm just saying. So I'm coming hard in 2020. I'm coming hard in 2020. So y'all might as well get ready for that. Right? So we lift up our glass and we say Ashe. From there, family, we're going to move to the most beautiful, positive, I'm going to say balance. The most beautiful balance. My bank account is in jeopardy. All right. So I have to I got to handle some business this morning. All right. So it's incredible how you keep in touch with stuff today, right? So we raise our glass and we salute. What was I at? Oh, the most beautiful, positive, empowering, uplifting, inspiring individual in the room. And you know who that is? That's you. I raise my glass to you, and we say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Family, I wish you peace, power, and joy. This is Brother Hatim. And before I go, I need to remind you, you are now standing in the congregation of the mighty. This is the home of the stubborn minority. This is the place where your hustle builds muscle. You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Media. This is a Heart of a Simba production. Of course, you know this is the Daily Toast. Strive to blow up your old paradigm.